December 26th, 1991. The Soviet flag is lowered over the Kremlin for the last time. But 2 days earlier, in a small Italian town called Reggio Emilia, 10 chess players had gathered for a tournament. 9 of them were Soviet citizens. Except by the time the tournament ended, the Soviet Union would be gone, and the winner wouldn't be any of the 9 Soviet grandmasters. It would be a 22-year-old from India. In 1985, Kasparov defeated Karpov to become world champion. It was a changing of the guard, or so people thought. But Karpov didn't go away. For the next 6 years, they fought, again and again. By 1991, they'd played 160 games against each other. Two giants, both Soviet, both seemingly invincible, and everyone else? They couldn't touch them. The generation that came after Karpov and Kasparov couldn't break through. They were strong, but not strong enough. But then came a new generation. And unlike the previous generation, it seemed they were not afraid of Kasparov and Karpov. Reggio Emilia, a town of 170,000 in northern Italy, famous for Parmesan cheese and hosting a major chess tournament. For decades, it was organized by Dr. Enrico Paoli, the grand old man of Italian chess. His sponsor was Dr. Elio Monducci. For 1991, Monducci wanted something unprecedented, the strongest tournament in history. So he invited the top 10 players in the world for his tournament. 9 of these 10 players were Soviet, and then there was Viswanathan Anand, the only outsider. Viswanathan Anand, when he was 6, his family moved to Manila. His father worked for Philippine National Railways. While other kids played outside, Vishy played chess, and he was fast, insanely fast. They called him the Lightning Kid. In 1988, he became India's first grandmaster. By 1991, Anand was making noise, winning tournaments, beating strong players. But the Soviet establishment didn't take him seriously. They called him coffee house player. It was an insult. It meant someone who's not serious or professional about the game. The consensus among the Russian giants was clear. Anand was entertaining, but not serious, not scientific, not one of them. But after this tournament, they would start to take him very seriously. Round 1, Anand starts the tournament by beating Valery Salov. But now it was time for the real test. In round 2, Anand played Garry Kasparov. The game starts and Kasparov avoids theory on move 5, not something he was known for. By move 13, Kasparov has space. The bishop pair and his king castled on the queen side. Now if Anand gives him one move, king b1 or knight e5, he would be worse. Hence, he plays knight c5 to get rid of a bishop. On move 17, Vishy decides to complicate the game by taking a2 pawn instead of exchanging queens on e2. Kasparov's decisive error comes on move 25, where he plays queen f3. He should have played g3 instead. After that, it was just a matter of technique for Vishy. The 22-year-old from India had just beaten the world champion. Now here's where Anand's story came back to haunt him. He had a pattern, a weakness he knew all too well.
I often couldn't explain what it is I was going to do. I would find the correct move very often, but if you pin me as to why, I didn't really know. It was just the way I played chess. Specifically, I played in Tilburg. I beat Kasparov, I beat Karpov, I beat Kamsky, I beat Kochnoi, I beat Short. But I also lost to Kasparov, I lost to Kamsky, I lost to Karpov, and some of these losses were just ridiculous.
Because you were playing too intuitively?
Because I was volatile.
And in round 3, against Gurevich, it happened again. Gurevich beat him, but this time, Anand didn't collapse. Round 5, he defeated Polugaevsky. Round 6, drew with Karpov. Going into the final round, 3 players were tied at the top. Vishy Anand, Boris Gelfand, and Garry Kasparov with 5 points. Karpov was half a point behind at 4.5. The Soviet Union has been dead for 11 days. The pairings were Kasparov versus Khalifman, Anand versus Belyavsky, Gelfand versus Karpov. This was it. Winner takes all. Even though Belyavsky had been playing poorly all tournament, he was a fierce attacker and always tried to play fighting chess. On move 20, Belyavsky rejects the drawing line and plays queen c4. By move 28, Black has a clear long-term edge with better structure. At the other board, Kasparov was grinding. He spent an hour and 20 minutes reaching a position he had already analyzed at home. But then he forgot his own analysis. Khalifman defended perfectly. The game was drawn. Final standings. First place, Vishwanathan Anand, 6 out of 9. The Indian in the leather jacket had won. The strongest tournament in chess history, against 9 Soviet giants.
I played in Reggio Emilia with 9 people from the Soviet Union.
Correct.
And I was the Indian.
Yeah.
So, and halfway through the tournament, the Soviet Union imploded and became 13 states of 40. My riposte to that was, I'm the last Soviet champion.
A game that most Indians had never taken seriously as a sport was suddenly front-page news. Anand didn't win the World Championship in 1992. It took him 8 more years. But in 2000, he finally did it. But more important than Anand's title was what came after. Chess became global. Magnus Carlsen from Norway, Ding Liren from China, and India. India became a chess superpower. Gukesh, Prague, Arjun. India now has what the Soviets had: academies, funding, a culture of excellence. And the game had come full circle, back to where it began.